Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, The Lost Chevalier, and you're welcome back to Second Circle. Let's continue, shall we? We were here. Grabbing some clothes from the nearby chair. No, this is another one. Load. This is the one. On the following day, as you head into the kitchen to start the day with fresh pot of coffee, you are surprised to find that you are not alone. Justice and Modeus are always awake and are already awake and are sitting at the kitchen table chatting. They stop as you are walking, grinning at your presence. Good morning, sleepyhead. Feeling tired today, Chief? What are you talking about? It's 7 AM. Yeah, and? Everyone else is already up. You're the one who's sleeping this time. You're kidding. Afraid not. What about Pandemonica? She drags Cedrada to the store to restock the fridge and pantry. Cedrada went? She needed a new pot for her cactus. I suppose that makes sense. And Pandemonica does exert an unusual amount of control over Cedrada. What about her coffee, though? Modeus gestured to the sink where the grinder lays among the dishes. Looks like she's taking a liking to that grinder that you gave her. She was up early and made her own coffee with it. Alright. Well, what about Cerberus? Judgment took her for a walk. Malena? Azazel and her went to a gaming cafe for research purposes. I suspect only Azazel will be doing the research. You're probably right. Surely Lucy's still around. Modeus and Justice share a glance. Actually, we haven't seen her at all today. Yep, I put my ear up to her door thinking I had heard some snoring like usual, but nothing. She's just gone? The demon shrugs. Don't know what to tell you, Chief. Alright. And what about you two? Where are you off to? Bookstore. My sources tell me that they are getting a new shipment of books in Braille, so I thought I'd bring Justice along to see if anything struck her fancy. I see. Well, have fun. What will you do, Taker? Oh, don't worry about me. I got some plans to make. Plans? Like what? You will see. You wink in their direction. Oh, Suddenly realizing what you mean, the demons blush. Oh. Now that's my guy. We shall be going though. Hope the planning goes well. The demons bid farewell and head to the door, leaving you alone in the house for the first time in months. Left to your own devices, you can only hope that you are living up to Lucifer's expectations. Select your character. Wait, what? Select your character? What do you mean by select your character? Like I'm going to see what? Okay. Dun 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 It's everything is recording correctly. Yay! Yay! Yay. My eyes close a lot, I don't know why. I should like squint my eyes when I'm... Oh wait, let me do that. This way it shouldn't close. There we go. Yay. Perfect. Okay, that's a calibration. Let's go for Pandemonica. You can't stop thinking about all that Pandemonica told you the other day. Her words occupy your thoughts so much to such a degree that you find yourself going out of your way to do research on the matter. However, after exhausting the local library and all the resources regarding demonology and earning more than a few concerned looks from the librarians there, you turn to the only place depraved enough to have what you're looking for: the internet. Alas, even that proves to be unfruitful. Unsurprisingly, there isn't much in the way of academic papers around the study of actual flesh and brimstone's demons. Certainly, you can turn to Lucy or one of the other living under your roof for some insight, but you have hesitant to air Pandemonica personal issues out of all to hear. So instead, you seek out the only other person you can think of, who, driven by obsessive curiosity, will know you just as much about demons as the denizens of hell themselves. Fortunately, you manage to find her alone in the garden, crouched over the azaleas, with her notepad clutched tight in one hand and a plucker flower in the other. You come upon her just as she is about to lick one of the petals. Oh, hello, Mr. Taker. Hey. What are you doing here? Oh, this? Just a bit of research. I see. Can I help you with something? Actually, yes, there is something I'd like to ask you about. If you had a minute, of course. It's something personal? Personal? It's something personal. Personal? Not about me, it's about Pandemonica, actually. Oh dear. She hasn't found my backup research file, has she? What? No. Wait, what backup research file? What? Never mind. It's best if I don't know. No, what I wanted to talk to you about is regarding demonology. You see, Pandemonica told me something the other day, and I'm not sure what to do with the information. I tried digging into it on my own, in the hopes of understanding the situation better, but I couldn't get very far. Aha, so naturally you come to me, the little demonology expert in the universe. Why, I'm flattered, Mr. Taker. Though I must admit I'd rather presumptuous of you to assume that an esteemed academic such as myself isn't too busy to help you. As you know, I'm rather swamped with work on my thesis. Oh. Well, I don't mean to put much on your plate. If you're too busy, I can find someone else to help. Wait, no! While I will normally be too busy for such a request, you just so happen to have caught me right and as I'm about to take my lunch break. So, why don't you whip us up a couple of sandwiches and I will listen to your conundrum them. Fine, give me a minute. You pop inside the house and return a moment later with a couple of thrown together ham and cheese sandwiches. After handing one plate to Azazel, you sit down in the grass next to her. In between bites of your lunch, you launch into a thorough explanation detailing the time you have spent with Pandemonica thus far and everything she revealed to you on your last date. Aside from asking a few clarifying questions here and there, Azazel is shockingly silent up until the tale comes to an end. This is all very interesting indeed. I have a few theories, but before I get into that, what exactly are you hoping to gain from this, Taker? Answers, I suppose? And what will you do with those answers? Well, I just want to help. Maybe it isn't my place to interfere, but I also know that I can't just sit by and watch her suffer. That's really admirable of you, Mr. Taker. I'm sure that, even if you fail to make a difference, she will appreciate the effort. I hope so. Now on to my theories. As it stands, I believe the primary reason for Pandemonica affliction is that the influence hell exerts over its denizens, whether they reign within its direct boundaries or not. Therefore, it stands to reason that, in order to ease her particular melancholy, she needs to lessen hell's metaphorically grip over her. The easiest way to do this is to distance her from hell. So I just need to bring her somewhere that is far away from hell as possible. Like a really tall mountain. Yes, that's one way of thinking about it, I suppose. But I'm afraid it's quite so simple. Sure, putting physical distance is one way of alleviating her plight, but is it really sustainable? I think what you really should focus on is either aesthetic or emotional distance. Either you can make her immediate surroundings the very antithesis of hell, or you can replace the lingering feeling of her time in hell with something totally different. In doing so, you may be able to make the voices stop. The antithesis of hell. How am I supposed to accomplish something like that? I realize this is all far easier said than done, but fear not, I have a couple of ideas that could help you. Based on what you have told me and my knowledge of hell itself, I think you have two avenues with which you can pursue. Firstly, bring her somewhere that is supposed to the dark and drab image of hell. That, I believe, is much of why her melancholy subsides on your walk the other day. The beautiful scenery and the cold brought her away from hell clutches, giving her peace. Alright. And the second option? That one is a little more tricky, but also is likely to prove more effective. Okay, what is it? If you can elicit feelings of joy, content, affection, and even love, it is likely you will be able to permanently ease her this is so cute, this is so cute, this is so freaking cute. I love it. But it is difficult to say if this will succeed since it hinges on her reciprocating those feelings. I see. Thank you, Cecil, you have given me a lot to think about. Anytime, Mr. Taker. If there is anything else I can do, just let me know. Actually, there is one more thing I think you can do for me. Of course, what is it? You got a batching suit, right? Yeah? Good. Badge up your suit, a towel, and a couple umbrellas, and meet me at by the car in half an hour. What are you planning, Mr. Taker? You will see. Also find Pandemonica for me and get her to pack up her things as well. We're gonna take a little trip. With that, you leave a Cecil to go into the house and track down Judgment. With her help, you wrangle Cerberus into the kitchen so that the three of you can begin preparations, a basket of sandwich, snacks and wine. Then you gather your own batching suit and a couple of beach-related activity items before loading everything up in the car. True to her word, Cecil meets you out there with a very groggy Pandemonica in tow. Oh my god, it's the beach episode! It's the freaking beach episode! Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh. Let me take a picture of this because I'm going to use this as a picture. Oh my god, look at Pandemonica's swimsuit! Oh my god, this is so sexy and beautiful! What in the world is going on, Taker? And why are we all standing here in our bathing suits? Hop on in, and you will see. Pandemonica pauses to glare at you before sliding into the passenger seat. Satisfied that no one has gotten hurt yet, you hop behind the wheel. While she's mad, the car rumbles to life and you set off. For the first leg of your journey, Cerberus and Judgment war over territory in the back seat, while Azazel regales you with all sorts of astute facts about the scenery you pass by. Pandemonica is, unsurprisingly, silent as she stares out the window. You cannot tell if she's grumpy, skeptical, or both. Eventually, the skirmish in the back seats come to an end, and even Azazel falls into silence as you draw nearer to your destination. It's the beach episode! Yeah! Yes! Yes, it's the beach episode! It's the beach episode! At last, after nearly an hour of driving, you pull off the main road onto a narrow side street which brings you closer to the smell of salt air. Soon you are able to hear the sound of crashing waves and decide that it's a good time to park. Alright everyone, we got a bit of a walk still to go, so grab what you can. I promise you won't want to make a return trip. Where in the world have you brought us, Taker? Pandemonica, do you mind grabbing the picnic basket for me? I got my hands a bit full with the towels. Don't dodge the question like that, mortal. Surely you don't think that I am foolish enough to fall for that. Hey, answer me, Taker. Taker, don't you walk away from me. You grab what you can and hurry out to the car. Then, with everyone following you close behind you, you lead the way on a trek through a sparse grove of trees and past a wall of high boulders until you feel your feet sink into the sand. Here we are. Wow! Upon setting their sight on the beach, Cerberus drops everything they're holding, tosses off their sandals, and charges forth into the water. Wait for me! Hey, don't just drop everything right off! Hey! Grumbling, Judgment manages to gather up everything Cerberus dropped and locks in the rest of the way. This is... Do you like it? It's... Pandemonica turns to you and misses your gaze. At once you seem to understand what is you're really asking. Quiet. Aww. I really appreciate this, Taker, but... Listen, if they come back, then so be it. There isn't much we can do about that. But for now, try to put all that in the back of your mind and just enjoy yourself. Oh, she's so beautiful. Ah, this game is so beautiful. You reach into the basket handing off of Pandemonica's forearm and pull out the thermos. Thermos! We're gonna have some mates. Here, I packed you some coffee. Well, coffee is the same thing. Now go relax, okay? Oh, no, no, no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, that face has completely conquered my heart. Oh, no, 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 no. Thank you. You know that watch Pandemonica walk off to set up the blankets. Then a shout draws your attention to Judgment, chasing Cerberus through the shallow water, running circles around the crouched Azazel. I'm crying of joy, god damn it. Come back here, you! Oh, quit running like that. You're scaring away the specimens. Judgment isn't just about to toss her chains out of the mischievous it's just about... Give me a second because I'm crying of joy and I have a problem to see. There we go. Judgment is about to toss her chains out at the mischievous trio when you whistle for her attention. As she returns to you, you withdraw a disc from the back on your shoulder and toss it to her. She catches out of the air and returns thankful wave. With one fluid motion, Judgment hurls the disc down the beach. Cerberus pauses only a moment to watch it go, then practically tramples over herself to pursue it. You, meanwhile, go to help Pandemonica unpack everything. I have never been to the beach before. Aside from the banks of the river Styx, of course, which aren't necessarily pleasant, we don't have anything like this. But where are all the people? Are your beaches always so bare? No, they aren't. Technically speaking, this isn't really a public beach. It belonged to some heiress and her boyfriend. Their house is a little ways inland. But they almost never come down here. Supposedly he really doesn't like the sand for whatever reason. Anyway, I used to sneak down here when I was younger to get a little bit of beach time to myself. I see. It's peaceful with the added flair of potential being caught. I like it. You have done well, Taker. So, what do humans tend to do in a place like this? I'm glad you ask! With a grin, you pull up your chair and toss it off your sandals. Then you beckon Pandemonica to follow you as a jog down to the water. Aww. Though hesitant at first, the demons follows you. For a while you are content to stand where it's shallow and watch the waves crash against your ankles, but soon you take Pandemonica's hand and bring her further into the surf. From the look on her face, you gather that that's not she's not a terribly experienced swimmer. So rather than bring her deep enough that the water could sweep her away, you settle for sticking to where the water is only as high as your waist. This is surprisingly pleasant. Do you know how to swim, Taker? I do! Could you show me? Sure, here, let me show you how to float on your back first. Just as you reach out to bring Pandemonica closer to you, something lands on the water between you. A familiar disc-shaped object. Oh no. Is that? I think so. Look out, guys! Before you can react, Cerberus plows into the both of you at top speed, knocking you into the water. Somehow you manage to snag Pandemonica under the water and drag her to the surface, cradling in your arms. Oh, this is so beautiful. Oh, this is so beautiful. This is so beautiful. This is so beautiful. This is so beautiful. Look at Pandemonica. Oh my god, this is so beautiful. Jesus. Sorry. It's alright. Like Halo, it's alright. I could have drowned. Come here, you. Pandemonica screams out of your grasp and launches herself at Cerberus. The trio scramble off a surprising pace, and you soon find yourself chasing Pandemonica, who is in turn chasing Cerberus. Judgment and Azazel watch the scene unfold with dumbstruck expressions. Pandemonica, wait! I will strangle them! You chase bring you out onto the beach for a while, before Cerberus wisely realizes that the water is the safest place for Pandemonica. They change into the surf, but Pandemonica follows after them. With a yelp, Cerberus tries to splash water into Pandemonica's face, hoping to make a swift escape when she's blinded, but the sleepy demon is not deterred. Pretty soon, a splash of fight breaks out. Pandemonica leads you, Azazel and Judgment, to help her overcome the boundless energy of her foe. Before long, the splash fight turns into an all-out splash war, which lasts until the sun begins to set. Oh, this is so sweet. With daylight waning, you finally call in on the battle and head out for the beach. The demons all follow suit, collapsing onto their towels with content expressions. You pass out sandwiches and wine to everyone. Though you, Pandemonica and Judgment, savor your dinner, Cerberus carves down her food so that they can head down to the water and begin making sandcastles. Azazel too eats quickly so that she can return to the pools and examine the wildlife. Judgment is content to watch them for a time, but soon she too gets up, grumbling something about how they are doing it all wrong. Oh, this is even oh my god. Left alone, you and Pandemonica set your sights on the horizon, where the sunset has bathed the sky a deep shade of red. You know? You feel her scoot closer to you on your blanket and top her arm around yours. Oh. We don't have sunsets in hell. I have certainly heard of them before, but I never imagined that one could be this beautiful. With a sigh, Pandemonica leads her hand against your shoulder. Thank you for today, Taker. I have never felt so at peace. I hope that it lasts. Me too. This is everything I have ever wanted. I never asked to be what I am, so bear the curses that rest on my shoulders. None of us did. But we make the best with what we have been given. I just wish I could stay here forever. With you? Oh, as do I. You look out over the beach. Judgment and Cerberus are working hard to build the most impressive castle. Judgment is winning by a long shot, perhaps because Cerberus has chosen to build her as a top of Azazel's. The angel screams too much to prove a solid foundation. Then, after a while, high tide sweeps in and Cerberus' moat is flooded, knocking her castle over. As she began to pout, lamenting her loss, you realize that it will be time to head home before long. The thought of leaving this place is a bittersweet one. You aren't certain what will happen from here on out, but at least you will have the memories you make her to look back. Pandemonica looks up at you, seeming to realize that your time here is coming to an end. You meet her gaze, wishing you could read exactly what is in that's on her mind. Is it hope, content, melancholy? We must depart, mustn't we? I'm afraid so. Pandemonica nods and you whistle for Cerberus, Azazel and Judgment to come back, pack everything up. They are all tired. Gradually they stumble back to the beach. As you gather your things, you keep an eye on Pandemonica, hoping to glimpse something from her expression. Though she avoids looking at you directly, you do manage to catch her eye just before you leave, only to be met with a sorrowful smile. Thinking that this made you fail in your endeavor to relieve her of Hell's influence, you hang your head on the way to the car. Behind the wheel once again, you urge the car to life. Pandemonica sits in the passenger seat next to you, a look of concern etched over onto her brow. You drive home in silence, save from the soft sound of Cerberus nodding in the back seat. Once you arrive, everyone files out of the car, drops their things in the living room, and heads off to bed with muttering good nights. Good night, mortal. Night. Pandemonica lingers behind only a while longer, seeming unable to articulate exactly what's on her mind. Take care, eye. Don't worry about it, Pandemonica. At least we had today. But I... Yes, you're right. Good night. Good night. You let out a breath that you feel as though you have been holding it since that morning. Azazel passes you on her way to bed, patting you encouragingly on the back as she goes. Maybe we could try something else another time. Yeah, maybe. Oh, this was so beautiful, I love it. But this is all the time I have for today. Thank you very much everybody for watching. I hope you had a blast. I was the Lost Chevalier, signing out. Bye bye!